We should have bought that.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Ernie from Energy 94.1. We're about to give away a laptop, man. But I feel like these are kind of now often my my frustrated parent sessions with our friends at Jubilee Academies right now, because one of the things that's really hard as a parent, obviously, is sending your kid to in-person classes. There's a pandemic. Then the virtual learning, like there's just so much happening right now. So I want to welcome our friends from Jubilee Academies. And why don't you guys introduce yourselves real quick to everybody?
All right. Hi, I'm Yesenia Frade. I'm the principal at Jubilee Westwood.
And hi, everybody. I'm Michelle Hickman. I'm the associate superintendent for Jubilee Westwood, Jubilee Lakeview University Prep, and Jubilee Sendero Schools in San Antonio.
Wow. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. And like I mentioned, yes, we are giving away, some Jubilee swag. We're giving away a laptop. And first comment right off the bat, how do you register for a laptop? Well, Letitia, actually good for you. There's still, I think, a couple of minutes left. So you got to hurry up, go now, energy941.com. Just click on the laptop or in the win tab and you can register right there. But you got to do it quick because we're going to draw a winner here in like 20 minutes. So hurry up. Which makes a great point, right? You can comment if you have questions about Jubilee, drop them in the comments below. If you just want to say hello, like Letitia does, hello, Letitia, back to you. But if you have a question, a comment, or anything that you want to say, just drop them in the comments below. And we'll also be giving away some Jubilee swag in the comments. Do we want to talk about how we're going to be doing that first?
So I believe there's going to be a set of questions that will be asked. And we are asking that based on the responses that we receive, we will be notifying the families on the swag, but they have to answer all of the pieces they have to find all the pieces of the pie.
They might have to research.
Might have to do some research, a little scavenger hunt. But hey, we got some really cool Jubilee gear here. This morning, I had my hot chocolate in my Jubilee cup, and we've got some amazing, I love the types of shirts that we have. We have swag bags. We've got sunglasses.
Ooh.
We've got some cool stuff here at Lakeview.
Nice. All right.
Westwood.
Yeah, we were at Lakeview University Prep last week, but today you guys are at Jubilee Westwood, and we'll actually drop those questions in the comments so that you can actually see what all the questions are, right? So there's 3 of them there. For a couple of them, you have to go to jubileeacademies.org to find out the answers to those questions, and then you submit them via Facebook, right? So I guess, last week you guys were at Lakeview, this week at Westwood, and I know last time we were talking about the differences between the different campuses, and what each campus offers is always something different. So what's different about Westwood? And we'll ask the principal this one. What's different about Westwood of the things that you guys offer, at Jubilee Westwood?
Definitely. So one thing that, we opened our campus last year. And so our priority was setting a very positive, nurturing culture amongst our adults as well as our students. And so that's something that we've always envisioned for the campus, and that's been our priority. So when a parent comes in, or anybody, it can be somebody that's just interested in the campus, we want them to feel welcomed. We want them to feel part of the family. And as we call them, the Wolf Pack, because we are the Westwood Wolves. Ooh. So we always talk about the Wolf Pack, and we do a howl with them all the time. We do them in the morning announcements. We just really want to set that culture where everybody feels welcome, especially right now during this time of the pandemic. We're all in this together. I've said that I don't know how many times. Even, from March until now, I've gone on Facebook Live. I've talked to my parents. I'm always there for them. And I've told them many stories because I am a principal, but I'm also a parent. Two of my kids go to Westwood, and one of them is in kinder, the other one's in 3rd grade. So I'm in it with the parents. I know exactly what they're going through. So we're all in it together. It's just a family.
And I was going to say, like, that's really, kind I guess really endearing, because like when you, like I send for now, right? We talked about this a little bit last week. I send my kids to public school, right? I have a 14-year-old son who's in high school, 8-year-old daughter. And it's just really hard. And this is part of where the frustrated parent kind of comes in, because, you know, when you go to public school, there's so many kids that you really don't get that sense of community. You don't get that, hey, we're on this together. You don't get, you know, a lot of those things. And of course, you know, the teachers, they do care about the education of their students. And as parents, we care about the education of our kids. But right now it's hard. Mm-hmm. It's hard. It's hard out there. So I guess, you know, what are some of the other things that you guys do at Jubilee Westwood to, you know, kind of help build that community? I think in addition to what you just discussed before.
Yeah, I think we're also just very transparent with our families, because I have gone live with them and I have had conversations where I've been transparent and vulnerable and said, you know what, it is hard. It's very demanding. You know, when we were doing just distance learning, being in meetings and doing my walkthroughs or observations with the teachers, and I still have my 2 kids that are learning, and I have to be helping them as well. So I do talk to my parents in that way, and I always try my best to help them whenever they are struggling. I talk to the teachers. We come up with ways to help. We're very solution oriented, and we're flexible. We're definitely going to work with our families no matter what the case is. And that's something that I've worked with at the campus about. You know, we have to be flexible. We have to be understanding, which is one of our determined destiny values for Jubilee Academies. And so that's something that we've developed as far as our mindset, you know, bringing joy into the classroom, especially during this time, but understanding that we're all going through the same thing right now with the pandemic. And so we need to just be mindful and just help each other. I have one thing I did want to say is that, you know, when you come to Westwood, yes, I'm the principal, but I do give out my number. My families can call, they can text me at any time. I've always told them that. And sometimes they've looked at me a little odd, but I'm like, no, that's customer service. So this is me being there for them no matter what. And so that's something that they have highlighted and you know, shouted us out for, because we do have that customer service, and that's our priority.
Yeah. And even some like the comments that are coming in now, again, shout out to Leticia, right? She loves her Jubilee Highland Hills. So awesome there.
Yes, we are definitely all about customer service and our families. That's something that is really sets us apart from other charter schools or public schools, I think.
Yes. When you walk into our campuses, you walk into our front offices, you're not going to get your typical, just walking into the school and it maybe be a little cold. No, you're going to get greeted with hello. You're going to have there's going to be a smile. And hey, Ms. Frade, with today being the day before Halloween, tell them that what you did this morning with your parade and how did you incorporate your virtual kids?
Well, yeah, because I see like the Luigi costume. So obviously there's a costume parade going on. We didn't even notice that. We just sort of glossed over it right at the beginning, like it's a regular thing.
I am not Principal Frade. I'm Luigi today. So we actually had a parade for our students that were on campus. And so our students were able to dress up as a character from a book or a movie. And so we had them line up and we did just a parade around the entire school. The great thing is that we also had our students that were in distance learning, our live students, on the laptop. So the teachers were in the hallways with the students, and the ones that were not dressed, we were all sitting down as the audience and we were walking through the hallways. But as we were going through, we could see the laptops and all of our distance learners were on there. And so I was stopping by and waving to them. Some of them were showing me their costumes. So it was really neat just to have them a part of our campus and being there, even though they are at home, they're still with us. That's just something that we always want to keep in mind. And it's like that in the classrooms too. You really can't tell whether or not, yes, we have our face-to-face, but the distance learners are also on the screen, on the laptop. So it's integrated. I don't know. It's all combined.
And they're wearing their uniforms home. It is the cutest thing ever. And so even though it's tough times, it's actually been a lot of fun. And we're a lot closer to our parents now because our parents are playing a huge role in the successful education of their child. And it's it's just an awesome opportunity to be able to work with families a little bit closer.
Yeah, and one of the things I was going to mention is like, I remember pre-pandemic, right? If there were no pandemic right now, our kids would be in school and they would be dressed up in their costumes for the costume parade. So like this sort of, kind of what you guys are doing, and my daughter went to school. Yeah, it's normal. It's bringing that sense of normalcy kind of back into life, and I think that's what so many people, parents and students, principals, administrators, like everybody's kind of looking for those things right now to make us feel normal again. So we're getting a lot of comments about the questions that are coming through. Make sure you submit those questions on the Jubilee Facebook page. So you'll have to go to jubileeacademies.org to find some of the answers, but you submit the answers via Messenger to the Jubilee Academies Facebook page, and they'll be able to go in and see, hey, did you share Jubilee Academies, which is actually one of the questions. So make sure you submit those answers, jubileeacademies.org. So we were talking a little bit about this last week, and I think one of the interesting things that's kind of happening now with education is that, and you guys mentioned it, right? But I think everybody's sort of finding this in their own daily life, is that the parents need to be much more in tune with what's going on in the classroom, what the kids are doing, especially if they're doing distance learning. Now, I'm not saying it's easy, right? I'm not saying it's easy at all. Like my daughter, this time last week, she was up in her room doing, her schoolwork. Since then, we got a couple of emails from the teacher, had to bring her downstairs, and now she's, next to one of her parents, where we can actually hear what the teacher is saying and understand what the teacher is saying, and, making sure that she's engaged and focused. So, are you guys finding a lot of those things as well, that, the parents have to be more in communication with the teachers, and how do you guys do those things?
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, oh yes.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the biggest struggle, that as much as we want to make sure that our students that are home are logging on, that they're completing the assignment. So it's all about the communication. That's what it boils down to, having our teachers have that constant communication with the parents. And if we do have a parent that we have not been able to get in contact with, then at that point, Mr. Gonzalez, my assistant principal, or myself, we go ahead and reach out to the parents, or we do just a quick home visit to see what's going on, just to check how they're doing, how we can support them. Sometimes it might be that, they just don't know how to log in, or they're having just connectivity issues. So we do whatever we can to just help them. We've become IT also. I mean, we've learned IT and Google Hangouts and Google Meets and Google Classrooms, everything. So it's just really just helping them. That's all it is. And having that communication. So we over communicate a lot. Our teachers, I don't want to limit them as far as the communication. So Class Dojo, Facebook, text message, emails, we constantly reach out to the parents so that they are in the loop of what's going on. And if we do need to have those types of conversations, then we have them, just so that we can bring back the child as far as setting them back on track.
And you mentioned earlier to us about the focus. I'm going to focus on focus. and the struggle is real as a kid. Okay, so as an adult, we can completely relate having adult ADHD. However, a child, imagine not really being developmentally ready for online learning, and so many of our children have just had to jump into online learning. What a struggle that everybody is having. And the ability to focus is not there because there's distractions in the bedroom. There's distractions over here and there. And the teacher is not able to physically put herself in the proximity of a child to be able to kind of bring them back to the activity. And so that's why our parental involvement is so crucial, because when parents actually recognize the children's inability to focus. It's not because they can't focus, they're humans. We are all like this. How do we help our children and bringing them back to understand and know we need you to, how do we stay focused? What do we need to do? So the struggle is real, but you know, we're going to work really hard with it, and our parents play a crucial role in the success of
All right.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll talk about that more in a minute, but I just want to remind everybody, jubileeacademies.org, you can actually visit their website right now, find out more about all the campuses, the specific curriculum, because they offer something different at each campus, which I think is completely amazing. And you can also go in the comments and see how you can win all of that Jubilee swag as well. And you'll need to answer some of those questions at jubileeacademies.org, and then answer the questions via Messenger to the Jubilee Academies Facebook page. Now, one of the things kind of about, if we can still focus on focus real quick, one of the things that, you know, I've found kind of interesting and kind of looking at like my own family's, you know, wins and struggles during this period is that, you know, yes, the parents want to know, you know, when anything's, you know, not right, or they're not, you know, their child isn't participating as much. But I think we also need to know, right, when our kids are doing something right, when they're doing something good, not just, I don't want to just know about the bad, you know. And I got a couple of emails, you know, from my kids' teachers. One of them was like, hey, you know, shout out to your son. He did so great in class today. I'm so proud of him. Can you please tell him that? I'm so proud. And I just thought that was just the best thing. And it did wonders for his, you know, his confidence. Are you guys kind of running into some of those things as well? Not just focusing on the bad, but focusing on the good too?
Oh yeah. So even last year, we've always had an expectation that our teachers need to make a certain amount of positive phone contacts, because it's not about the negative. It's not about necessarily bringing them back on track. We need to highlight and shout out the students that are doing a great job. And we actually do have a tracker that we have in place at Westwood that I monitor each week to see those highlights that the students are doing, so that I can also go and highlight and shout out the student, or even send them an email. Since now they have their own emails, I'm writing emails to them, letting them know that I know that your teacher shouted you out, and this is why, and so I'm very proud of you. So it's just all about that positivity and building that positive student culture. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I can't tell you like how far that positive reinforcement went. So yesterday was the first day that I was literally working side by side with my 8-year-old daughter. I was working at my desk here. She was working at her desk right next to me. And, you know, after both of our days are over, I was like, so how was school today? She's like, actually, you know what, Dad? I like working next to you. And that's like hearing that little 8-year-old voice just kind of melts your heart. You know, I was like, oh, let's do this every day, please. I cannot wait. Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, just really like the learning piece of this, because like you mentioned before, we're all learning. You know, we're all learning kind of how to adjust and modify. Of course, yes, we want to trust our kids to be able to go off and do their own thing. But in some cases, like, you know, going off and doing their own thing probably isn't the best thing. It's almost like let them do it in a controlled environment with you next to them first, maybe while you're working at home, or having an older sibling kind of work next to them so that they can keep each other on task, like figuring out some kind of way so that everybody can sort of position themselves best for success.
And the Westwood teachers do a phenomenal job just ensuring the engagement and keeping kids involved. And it's just awesome to be able to walk around that Westwood campus and watch the wolf pack in action. It is so neat. And I'm really proud of what the Westwood teachers and staff have been able to accomplish in such a short amount of time, in uncharted territory. We've never chartered these types of waters before. So a big shout out to Westwood for like mastering this. They've done a phenomenal job, and man, come by and see us. And we would love to be able to show off what's going on there at Jubilee Westwood.
Yes.
Speaking of showing off, besides like, you know, the costume that you guys got going on right now, right? Shout out to Jasmine, who's, you know, watching and loves the costume, and bringing back that sense of normalcy, right? What are the things that you guys offer at the Westwood One campus that maybe aren't included at other Jubilees?
Yeah, I mean, every Jubilee campus is unique in their own way. One thing that we do offer at Westwood is we have a partnership with Chef San Antonio. So we have an after-school program that we started last year with our students, and we're going to continue this school year, where our students are learning how to cook in all grade levels, and then learning about nutrition and having a healthy lifestyle. So we've partnered up with them, and it's been such a great experience for our kids because they create recipes and they cook for us, and we were able to try the food. It's going to look a little slightly different for this school year, but we are excited to start again. We were just waiting a couple of weeks, you know, coming back face to face, but now we're ready to launch the program one more time. We do have, you know, art, music, athletic movement. Our athletic movement program is very different. I've worked at a public school, I've worked at another charter school, and what I see at Jubilee, the athletic program it's completely different. It's not, you know, go run outside or recess. It's nothing like that. It's very organized, very structured. They learn about just different techniques and skills. They build on their skills, forms, and they also tie in the nutrition factor of it. So it's a very neat program that we have at Westwood and at other Jubilee campuses. And then just overall, we focus on the child as a whole. It's not, yes, it is about academics, definitely, because, you know, we have to, but it's also about the arts. And so we do focus on art, music, athletic movement, chef program. We did have a karate program as well last year. So we're just waiting a couple of weeks just to get back into face-to-face.
Yeah,
we should be there soon.
We are anxiously watching these COVID numbers go up and down and up and down. So you know, we want to get back to that normalcy of all the different programs. And Westwood is looking to add additional fine arts programs. Yes. So I know Ms. Frade is a huge fan of the arts. And so Westwood is definitely looking towards the arts as well. So in the near future, we're looking at adding things like theater arts and additional.
Well, we actually do. We're about to start Wolf Trap. So for our pre-K, there you go. For our pre-K students, we follow a different curriculum, high scope. And so we partnered up with, it's the Toby, I can't think of the whole name, but it's Toby Center. Trying to remember. And we're bringing in theater arts with pre-K and kinder. So they're going to be learning about theater arts, integrate it with other subject areas. So I'm excited to see that. They just started training, so we should be seeing those lessons coming out.
And since she mentioned it, Pre-K for SA is a huge partner with Jubilee here in San Antonio. And so she mentioned that our curriculum's a little different at the pre-K level. Yes, we are a high scope campus. And so we really love the components that our pre-K teachers bring to the classrooms. It's just a phenomenal, it's not necessarily a curriculum, but it's the foundation of how we problem solve and work with one another as we grow and develop into adults. And so a great program there at Westwood, and those pre-K teachers are top notch there.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. All right, so you have maybe 1 minute left if you want to register to win that laptop. We're going to draw a winner here pretty quick. So to do that, go to Energy 94.1 to register for the laptop. If you're trying to win some of the Jubilee swag, of course, you need to do a little bit of a scavenger hunt. Go to jubileeacademies.org, find out all the answers to the questions that we released in the comments a little bit before. So you might have to scroll up a little bit in these comments to find out what the questions are. Go to jubileeacademies.org to find the answers, and then submit your responses via Facebook Messenger to the Jubilee Academy's Facebook page. So that's how you win the Jubilee swag right there.
Can I mention one last thing?
Go for it. Yeah.
We are still enrolling. Yes, we are still enrolling. So if you're interested, you can also contact us at Jubilee Westwood. Our number is 210-963-3930. We're looking for some pre-K, first, third, fifth, sixth, but overall, if you're interested, go ahead and call us. We'll even do a virtual tour of the campus.
That's so awesome. So I was actually so I'm not done asking my questions yet. So we got plenty of time, and we can go for as long as we really want to. But I think one of the things that we had talked about a little bit last time is obviously, there are some parents in San Antonio that are uneasy about sending their kids back into classes. Like my wife and I had, a 2-hour discussion over the last 2 days of like, do we want to send our kids back to school? I was like, well, I would almost rather go back to my office first because I know that nobody's there. And I know like I can control that. I feel like a little bit more than my kids going to school. Right. So I think one of the big questions that I want to ask is, kind of in and around trust, parents will feel less anxiety about sending their kids back to school when they can trust that the school is doing everything in their power to kind of minimize, the pandemic, I guess. So I guess, what are some of the things that you guys are doing at Jubilee Westwood specifically to kind of, earn that trust so that parents do feel good about sending their kids back to in person?
Yes. So before we came to face-to-face, we actually created a video of the campus because we're not allowed to have our parents come in at this point because of COVID.
Yep.
So we did create a video showing them what it looked like inside the school so that they could have, peace of mind of what we're doing at Jubilee Westwood. And so we did have a few students start with us a week before. So we used them also as examples, and we would record them, 2 of them being my kids. And we're showing, we have decals on the floor. We're doing screenings every morning. They're not mandatory for every campus to do or in the state of Texas, but we have chosen to do the screenings every morning just so that the parents also have peace of mind that, we are checking, that we're making sure that they're coming in without any symptoms or without any fever. So our numbers have grown. For face-to-face, we started off with 78, and now we're at 179.
Wow.
So that just shows the trust that our parents have with us. I constantly am in communication with them. If they call me or they just want to check on their child, I go ahead and run to the classroom, take a picture of them. They're fine. I do a lot of virtual tours as well, so the parents can see what we're doing and how it's going in on campus. But it's just definitely keeping the parents informed and communicating with them. So I can tell you right now, they have been trusting us because our numbers have grown, and I think they're seeing that and that we're doing everything for them. And so if any child does have, feels any type of symptom or feels a little ill, we immediately take them to the nurse. We then follow through with next steps, and we're proactive.
Our district has a very proactive approach to addressing a variety of different scenarios that may occur in the school. So our department, where our head nurse leads, she's just a phenomenal asset and has helped our schools be so much more safe. And because of that, well, our data shows, and
yeah,
but the proactive measures, I truly believe, are leading to to minimize the risk of the spread of COVID. We have hand sanitizing stations everywhere.
Every classroom, every hallway, restrooms. Our custodial staff, they're doing amazing. They're constantly just sanitizing.
Everything
all day, every day.
Yes.
And we do deep cleans after school as well. So
they're wiping everything down and sanitizing all day long. We're not just talking 3 times a day. We're talking every time you walk around, they're just sanitizing more doorknobs, and they're just very proactive.
Walking behind us, just
yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I remember when my daughter was maybe we would like walk behind her and rub everything down before she got there, just to I guess keep her safe and healthy. But and I think that's actually a really great point, because that communication that you're doing and that you're taking all those actions. Like in terms of public school, like I haven't gotten any of that from, the public school that my kids go to. I know. We were talking about this last week, right?
We were going to substitute for us as well. I think we were going to do it as a sub as well.
Yes.
So.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if you want to trust me with the education of, America's future. I don't know about that, but I'm getting nervous here. Come on now. But I think like those factors, those things that you do, like they go a long way, into, I guess, showing, that, parents that you are taking, the maximum amount of precautions and, doing things right and doing it in a way to make people feel comfortable about letting, I don't want to call them possessions or anything, but they're the most prized, possession in life, their children, right, into your arms and trusting you with their care, I guess, is like a huge thing to me. So congratulations, like on all the things that you guys doing. Jubilee Academy, Westwood, professor. You're now a professor. Principal Frade. But also makes a great Luigi as well. So thank you for putting on your costume. And now, is there anything else we want to cover before we get to the winner of the laptop?
Well, so enrollment for next school year begins November the 1st. It is like just a few days away for the 2020-2021 school year. Boy, that's a mouth. 21-22, see?
21-22, yeah.
22 school year. We're already starting enrollment this weekend for that. So we're ready. She's got some openings.
I still have openings. So if you're interested, go ahead and come by.
We have openings now and openings for next school year. So come on over, come visit us. Call Principal Frade. She'd be more than happy to have conversations with you and introduce you to her staff and give you a virtual tour of her campus.
Yep, definitely.
Awesome. Well, real quick, again, if you want to win some Jubilee swag, the instructions are in the comments, 1, 2, 3. Then you can submit everything to the Jubilee Facebook page via messengers. And of course, visit them, jubileeacademies.org. You'll need to go there anyway to find some of the answers to the questions that they're asking in the comments. And then obviously submit your answers via messenger on the Jubilee Facebook page. Those sunglasses are amazing. I might just need a pair of those for myself. I'll go answer the questions right after this.
You a pair of glasses.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and pick that winner for the laptop. So real quick, let's say congratulations to Sophia Bostic from Balcones Heights. Congrats. You won a free laptop from Jubilee Academies and Energy 94.1. Sophia, we will shoot you an email with all the information, and you don't have to go anywhere and pick it up. We'll actually just ship it straight to your house. That's how Jubilee does. That's how Energy 94.1 does. So real quick, again, congrats to Sophia. And if you have any questions about COVID protocols at Jubilee, what the courses of curriculum are at each Jubilee Academy, of course, visit jubileeacademies.org. Principal Frade, thank you so much for dressing up for us in costume today.
Yes, you're welcome.
I kind of feel bad, and really just thank you and your entire team and all of Jubilee Academies for helping to sort of bring back that sense of normalcy for our kids. To me, there was nothing more fun than a costume parade at Halloween time, and just knowing that that's something that you guys did today is just amazing, and it makes me want to go in there and talk to my wife right now about sending our daughter to Jubilee Academies now. Like, let's go. Let's do this. They did the costume parade today, man. Come on. How can we not do this? So again, if you need more info, jubileeacademies.org. We thank you so much for watching, and thank you guys, and you guys be safe. We appreciate your time.
Bye.
To all of our family out there, Jubilee family, hello. Thank you for joining us.
gonna do a howl, but no.
Yeah, we
But
can No.
Well, see now you got to do it before we end.
Oh, hi Westwood Wolves! If you're watching, because I know they were going to watch. I see you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll do a quick howl.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3.
Oh!